This meeting is being live streamed. Yes, it is being live streamed. I did that. I did the live streaming.
Oh my goodness.
Is it being live streamed? That is the question. Is
Wow.
it being live streamed? I think so. We are, hey, yes. Hey, guys. How y'all going? I am so pumped. This is the first of a string of many interviews that I'm going to do like this. And I'm really excited to kick it off with Kerryn because she has just freaking crushed it in our first 8 weeks together. And even I'm inspired by some of the stuff that you've been doing. It's really cool. And so we're going to talk today, guys, about two things. So Kerryn is a health coach, which is one key reason why I wanted to bring her on as one of the first interviews here, because a key complaint that I get in this space is, oh, I can't do it because I'm not a business coach. Oh, it's different for me because I'm not selling money, or blah. Kerryn doesn't sell money, right? And Kerryn's not walking around with, a bikini on and her abs showing either. She's a health coach who helps people lose weight and get healthy following a vegan diet. That is what she does. And we've been together, I think maybe 9 weeks or something now. And so the first 4 weeks, I think she went from 5K to 10K. And then the second 4 weeks, she did 12.
Okay, 12.5K sales, yeah.
12.5K sales, a little bit less cash. So the first month was cash, second month was sales. And our third month, she's already kicking off with new clients. And so I want to talk about, one, what she does and the results that she helps people to get and the outcome that she's helping her clients work towards. Two, how you can apply, or some tips that you can apply from what she does to yourself, because at the end of the day, like, your biggest asset in business is your health, right? If you do not have the energy, if you do not have the mental clarity, if you're physically ill, if you're stressed out, if you have immune problems, right, it's going to be really hard to turn up and scale a business. And so she's going to give you guys some tips around that, around getting healthy and taking control of your health. And then some key tips on the key things that were really instrumental to her to getting to consistent 10K months. So I'm super pumped. Kerryn, do you want to give us a bit of a background about your story and what you do and what you help your clients with?
Yeah, sure. I call myself a weight loss health coach. So I'm a weight loss coach in the plant-based world. A lot of people are coming to plant-based eating as a way of living, not only for health improvements, but for weight loss as well. They've tried all sorts of other diets, and a lot of people are coming into the space thinking it's another diet that works. So what I do is I help them get out of diet mentality, and I help them with what to eat to achieve their weight loss, but then I work with them on their mindset and all sorts of other habit changes, the real things that are actually holding them back from losing weight, because essentially the basics are very easy. It's not doing them that is the problem for most people. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, like everything, I guess. It's just, JFDI, just do it. So yeah, I help them get out of their own way, help them work on their mindset to achieve those goals too. My story, I guess, I've had my own weight struggles all my life, but it's probably more my, a mindset thing. From the age of 3 or something, I decided that I had fat legs. So that became
3? Wait, 3?
Yeah, about 3. I went to a gymnastics class. Neighbours that we lived next door to were very involved in gymnastics, and I went to the gymnastics class and looked around the room at all the other little kids there and decided that they all had skinny legs and I had fat legs. So that was. I
don't remember being 3. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm like, I can't even remember anything before the age of like 10. And you are like really remembering this core moment at 3 of being fat. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't fat. I had a small upper body, but I had my dad's stocky legs, so I decided I had fat legs, and that was a limiting belief that I grew up with all my life. pretty much. So I every time I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw, and it was something that haunted me for a long time. And when I got into my 20s, I got married very young. And moving away from home, you tend to change your diet a little bit, although I did go vegan at that point, but I was eating a lot of crap, and put on some weight, and I really struggled to get it off. So I understand where a lot of my clients are at with their mindset, and that it's the mind holding them back, even though they're on a plant-based diet, or even though they're looking to come to a plant-based diet. So so I really tap into my history with I guess body dysmorphia and my struggles there to help my clients. Fast forward, it was a skin cancer scare in about 2017 that propelled me to go plant-based again. I'd gone backwards to vegetarian. And it was a skin cancer scare that just made me go, you know what, stop stuffing around with this, just go back to being vegan. And this time, 20 years later, the vegan world of food had changed quite considerably from 20 years prior. And there was a lot of vegan junk food around, a lot of processed meats, all these vegan cheeses, ice creams, donuts, cakes, biscuits, pastries, all of it. And I had to explore it all. So I still wasn't necessarily healthy, but I started researching a lot of the plant-based health. And that is what sent me down this rabbit hole to wanting to then become a plant-based coach.
Wow. I'm still stuck on the fact that at 3 you walked into a gymnastic class and decided that your legs are fat. I'm like, that's crazy. That's great. I'm just curious, guys, is there anyone here, because I know there's a few of you watching, is there anyone here who is a health coach who's in that space, or either maybe you're not a health coach, you're coaching something different, but you're totally aware that maybe you need to work on your health a little bit more, and you need to work on that, part of your life to therefore improve everything else and improve your business. What do you guys do? Who do you coach? That kind of stuff I'd be really keen to know. With your clients, Kerryn, what kind of outcomes are we working towards with them? So I know like weight loss is the key thing. And so another thing you touched on as well was like you're working on mindset, right? And I speak to a lot of health coaches, and they say that they feel like the reason that they can't sell their coaching is because they don't have a tangible thing, because no, but I don't believe in diets and I'm working on mindset, and it's funny because that's everything that you're doing. And not only is it getting results for your clients, but you're selling it and it's getting results for you too.
Weight loss is usually the main goal for most of my clients. Obviously, some of them are coming to me because they've got terrible health at the moment as well. So, but we set very smart goals for them at the beginning, and we make sure that they are very achievable in the time that they're working with me, and then we set mini goals in between. But it's the mindset. So the things to do, the habit changes that we make, they are very simple things like, eating cleaner foods, getting enough water, getting enough sleep, eating when you're hungry, only when you're hungry, stopping when you've had enough, not stuffing yourself full. It's very basic stuff, right? But the thing is, it's getting in people's heads that it's people overthinking things. And this is why I work with a lot of women as opposed to men. Men are really good at this sort of stuff. They're just like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. We women, we get all in our heads. We're like, but I can't do this because of that. They go, we go all whingy and whiny and like come up with all of the reasons why we can't do something. We fight for, I've got it written down here, something. We are fighting for our failures. We're arguing for our failures, why we can't do something. So it's the same with anything in life, any goal that we're trying to achieve. A lot of the time, if we're getting stuck, we go to argue for our failures, why we can't do something, rather than going to argue for why we can. So I help them, I guess, repair the relationship they have with themselves, for one. A lot of them are in this very negative mindset about themselves. And then I help them understand why they why they're getting fearful about change. Just understanding that that's normal for our brain to want to, go to look at what's not going well in their lives and focus on that rather than focusing on what's going well and, trying to expand that. And they say, after 12 weeks, a lot of them come out saying that their lives have been changed. They are completely different people at the end. Yeah. And as a result, I've had quite a few people re-sign with me. So what I've done is taken my 12-week program and I'm actually fleshing it out now to a 6-month program so that I've actually got structure if people do want to continue with me, and then I'm going to flesh it out and offer a 12-week program as well.
Yeah, and you have a pretty high re-sign rate at the moment too. And I can like right now, that one thing that you just said to me just hit home so hard, is that we as women more particularly, like, we fight for our failures. And I can see, like, if weight loss, business, fucking sports, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're working towards, right? Like, if you're working with a coach and they can help you create that one shift to stop fucking fighting for the failures, right? And to see life differently. Like, the amount of people that turn up to, like, clients, even people turn up and they will give me all the reasons why something won't work.
Yeah.
Can you just take a second to breathe? Stop staring at this for a second and just ask a different question, like, how can we make this work? What can we do? What options are available to us? And I can see, right, like, more so than just losing weight, more than just getting healthy, like, that person's life is freaking on a different trajectory if you've just helped them to think that way.
Yeah, exactly. And it was there's something sorry, I'm looking over here because I've got my window covered in sticky notes. Given I don't have condensation on the window anymore, I can use it for planning. But it was asking intelligent questions. I listened to a podcast the other day, and I'm going to bring a session like that into my coaching as well. Asking intelligent questions instead of asking, why can't I do something, or why am I such a failure? Why can't I lose weight? Ask an intelligent question like, how can I do this? What's going to work for me? How can I find a way around this? So it's about putting your brain to work in a way that's going to serve you rather than in a way that's going to hold you back. Yeah. So that's a lot of what I work on with my clients. The stuff that we actually need to do to lose weight is very simple, but it's the following through and sticking with it that is the problem for a lot of people. So yeah, it's mostly mindset.
I love that though, right? Like, and CJ's just saying here, like, I'm a health coach, but I'm not sure how to put my pricing up. Now, your pricing is not necessarily low end, right? Like, how much are you charging for 12 weeks?
12 weeks is 1,800 Australian if you pay in full, or 700 Australian monthly. It's a little bit cheaper if people invest for 6 months, so 3,000 for 6 months or 600 a month. So yeah, it's not cheap, but if you think about the money that you might spend, going to a dietitian or going to Weight Watchers or going, buying a juice cleanse or all of these other sort of tactical things that don't actually get to the heart of the problem, then, and if you think about the money you're probably overspending on food each week because you're eating too much, the money you're probably spending on crappy food that you don't need anymore, then it adds up long term. So and I want to work with people who are invested in themselves as well.
And so you're not just losing weight though, right? Like, you're changing someone's life, and I love that you're doing that. And you're not selling low ticket stuff. You're not selling $100 offers or cheap programs, right? Like, you were selling a transformation. And they are paying to get that transformation. And I freaking love it so much. If there's like people in this group who are awesome, CJ said I love it, brilliant, awesome, good stuff. If there are people here who maybe not necessarily health coaches but are wanting to get healthier or wanting to get more energy or wanting to just kick that off, and maybe they know I need to eat less sugar and I need to move my body more, but it's just they're not doing it. What are your key tips, or what are the key things that you would suggest to start to make the shifts for them to move in the right direction?
Okay, so the where many people kind of go a little bit awry, I guess, when they are looking to get healthier, they want to start losing weight, is we start with where we're at and we think we've got to make a 180 switch. We've got to change everything overnight. And that's so much of a change that our brain, after a few weeks, freaks the fuck out. Our brain freaks out, we freak out, we self-sabotage, and we go back to old behaviors. So the best thing to do is to start with incremental changes, just little shifts. You know, if you want to get a little bit healthier, I suggest starting with a green smoothie every morning or something like that. If you have sugar cravings, I'd say look at your water intake, look at your sleep to start with. But then also know that sugar is it's an addictive. Like if you're feeding your body sugar, it's going to crave sugar. But how can you displace some of that sugar? For example, the green smoothie that I have, if anyone wants a recipe, I can send it to them. It's called my tropical green smoothie. It's delicious. It's helped many of my clients kick sugar cravings and sugar habits. Start with one of those in the morning, and I call it crowd in to crowd out. So you start by just sort of flooding the body with lots of good stuff. And then your body becomes addicted to that. And eventually you don't want the sugar, you don't want the crap anymore, because your gut microbes have started to adapt and started to change, and they're starting to crave the good stuff now. But essentially, yeah, if you want to get healthy, my suggestion is, and this has been shown by science too, eat more plants. Start by just including more plants in your life. The less meat and dairy and processed foods you can be eating, and the more plants, whole plants, that is, not processed plants, not, beyond burgers
Vegan
or
donuts.
vegan donuts. No,
Donuts are good.
yeah, they're just as good as the real ones, honestly.
Right.
I used to have a cafe outside of my apartment that was vegan, and they sold donuts.
They had my old apartment, and I'm so happy I'm not living there anymore, because they were fucking amazing. They were so good.
I know, but thankfully I'm not much of a donut person, so I don't crave sugar as much. I just
eat more plants.
Yeah, eat more plants. So just try and cram more plants into your diet, into your day, and look to reduce things like animal products and processed foods in your life, because every bite is actually doing your body damage. Sorry. If you want to follow a couple of really good books, I would suggest one is called Fiber Fueled by Dr. Will Balsowitz, and another is called it's just recently come out, The Proof is in the Plants. Yeah, that's what it's called. The Proof is in the Plants, by Simon Hill, who has a podcast called Plant Proof. He's an Australian too, lives in Bondi. So those two books will just teach you quite a lot about your body and about the power of healthy plant-based eating.
I like that. So tip number 1 is crowd in to crowd out. So just start. I love your smoothie recipe, by the way. I'm so keen for that. Crowd in to crowd out. So just fill your body with good stuff first. You're not saying go cold turkey and restrict yourself, right? We're not focusing on restricting. We're focusing on adding in.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to focus on the abundance of the stuff we get to eat, crowd more of that stuff in, and eventually your body, your gut microbes, your gut microbes are actually what create a lot of your addictions and cravings. So once your gut microbes start to shift, start to change, and adapt to the new whole plant foods that you're eating, you'll find that you're starting to crave those more. Yeah, so crowd in to crowd out. Yeah, that's my first.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, and they play a huge role on like mental health, like how much energy you have, how much clarity you have, if you have mood swings. Like that was a huge thing for me with curing the bipolar, was my gut health. Right. And I like that you just like, don't fucking focus on what you can't have, just add more good shit. And it does change, and it takes time though, right? Sometimes you kind of fall off and you still want a bit more sugar today, and then next week you find, I don't actually want that ice cream, like I just don't feel like that today. Maybe I'll just eat it.
Yeah, I had one client who was very, very attached to her Saturday night bag of chips. She when we started together, she was like, "But you can't take this away from me," And all through the program, it was about I think week 6 or 7 or so. She was like, "Guess what? I got it down to half a bag of chips," and she was like, "Oh my god, I didn't have any chips and I didn't buy any and I still didn't buy any and I'm feeling great." So yeah, we didn't even work on trying to move it out of her life. It's just that she started to crowd in more good foods and she just no longer craved the Saturday night bag of chips.
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with that, and not even just for health, but for business related things. Like if I want to change like habits and stuff within my business, I will just take one small thing that I know if I do it, it's going to move me forward. And I focus on building the habit for that one thing. I'm not focusing on like the things that I don't want to do. Like, oh, I don't want to watch Netflix during the day, or I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to whatever. Like I just focus on adding in that one thing. And eventually like you just feel better and you have more and you just start to want it. And it just like it's yeah, like I really like that that's
focus on one thing at a time. And I guess in business, like anything, when we try and focus on everything all at once, it becomes overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And we procrastinate because we're overwhelmed, or we just get stuck and we don't move forward. We don't know what to focus on first. So yeah, with my clients, I'm helping them just change one thing at a time. Every week they're learning one new habit, or they're focusing on one new mindset, or and we're just moving them forward constantly every week.
Yeah, and that's where the transformation comes from, right? In 6 months' time, you are a different person.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not a different person because because that's the problem, right? When you try to change everything at once, what you're doing is you're operating just on willpower. And so eventually you're going to hit a wall. And I've had clients come to me and say, "Sarah, I know what to do, but I didn't do it. And I need to figure out why I'm self-sabotaging." And I'm like, hold on, let's just track this back for a second. Are you self-sabotaging, or have we taken on too much and you're not taking the time to build the habits? Do we just not have habits in place? Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you've done. Like you're focusing on a long transformation, one step at a time. Yeah.
And I actually have a session on self-sabotage with my clients too, strategically positioned at session number 5, because that is where most people, after a few weeks, they might get off to a good start. They're feeling great. And then suddenly their body and their mind goes, whoa, fuck, too much change. And they start to sabotage. So we start to, go deep and understand how it shows up in their life, and just I talk them through why that's happening. And it is very normal when we go through a period of change and growth, that our mind wants to freak out. It doesn't. It wants us to go back to our normal comfort zone, where with our old habits, because that's what it knows. And it wants us to stay in nice comfort, safe zone, rather than expand ourselves and try something new. So for everybody out there who might be suffering from self-sabotage, it's because you are trying to, you're now taking on new habits, you're doing new things, and your brain is freaking out. It just doesn't, it doesn't want you to do this because it's new and it feels very scared. That's your habit brain that's freaking out. So you got to engage the other part of your brain that wants growth and wants expansion. It wants something new.
I like that. I can see why you have a high number of re-signs, right? Like it's not just about fucking losing 5 kilos in 12 weeks. And it's really strategically thought out. Like, hey, because it's true, no matter what you're doing, you're going to have, like, you always, for any new thing, we kick off with excitement and enthusiasm, and then we hit a bit of a slump, right?
Yeah, we do.
Like it's that bit. Yeah. So tips for those of you who are wanting to change the trajectory of your health and therefore your life. Number 1 is crowd in to crowd out. Number 2 was just eat more plants.
Yeah, eat more plants, and less animal foods, less processed foods. Yeah, get more plants into your life.
Get more plants into your life. And number 3, what was the third one?
Do I have a third one? Water and sleep.
Water and sleep. No one have it at a time. I like that one.
You can always drink, do with drinking enough water and getting enough sleep. The two of those are crucial for our health. And if we're not getting enough of either, then that can throw up, the body can then throw up faux hunger signals. It wants you to eat more. If you haven't been getting enough sleep, you might be tired. It's going to throw up cravings for sugar, particularly because sugar is quick energy. And if you're not drinking enough water, it's going to throw up faux hunger signals as well, because there is water in food. So they're just two of my key basics as well. I've got to dial those in pretty quickly. We dial those in in session 1 with my clients. So just JFDI.
JFDI. Get the stuff done? JF, get the fuck, no.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it. JFTI. Just fucking, I don't, DI. JFTI. Yeah. I was hearing T and I was trying to figure out JFTY, get this stuff done. Nope, that doesn't work. Just fucking, I was like, just
I, yeah. Just
fucking do it. Just fucking do it, guys. All right. And for anyone else, so I know CJ is a health coach as well. For anyone who's watching who is a health coach, and they're kind of struggling, or they feel like maybe they can't get to consistent 10K months, or they can't build a 6-figure business, you're proof that you can. What are your key, your 2 tips for them that have been most instrumental for you?
Okay, having really good lead magnets, really understanding your clients' pain points, I guess. And having really good lead magnets that invite them into a conversation. So I had great lead magnets, and I was just giving them away in Facebook groups. I was just dropping my link everywhere, wasn't I? Until I met Sarah, and Sarah said, no, pull them into a conversation, into a chat, and lead them through a chat sequence. Booyah, here we go.
Got some leads coming through here. Awesome.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting you to say have a really good lead magnet.
Really? No, definitely.
I didn't know, right? You could have said get lots of sleep, and that still would have been true too, right? I wasn't sure where we were going to go with this. I was like, I'm curious, what is it? But have a good fucking lead magnet, yeah.
And not just one. Like I've got a few. I've got a whole food plant-based guide, so that walks you through the basics, because there are a lot of new people coming to plant-based eating, and they're just like overwhelmed. Like, how do I do this? And it's also got some tips to transition to plant-based eating if they want to take it slowly. Then I've got a weight loss lead magnet as well. So just my 6 basics that I just walked through. And what else have I got? I've got some recipes. So they're my 3 key lead magnets. And then, instead of dropping my link into other Facebook groups when people are, help, I need help. I say, I've got, this particular lead magnet. Let me know if you want a link. And then I get that person and several others are saying, can I have it? Can I have it? So I just jump into friend request them, jump into a chat with them, and start them on the chat sequence. And not only does the lead magnet have a landing page, so I get their email address and all their details. But yeah, it's enabling me to find out if they are stuck, lead them into my group, and see who's keen to jump on a chat. And look, not everybody at that early point is keen to jump on a chat, but once they've got into my group, once they've got several of my lead magnets, once they've built that know, like, and trust factor, like I've just give, then oftentimes they're like, let's jump on a call. I want some help with this. So
yeah.
And just I think my other tip would be, for me, it's been the chat sequences. It's been having a clear sequence to follow to lead people into a call. Previously, I was talking to them, but I didn't necessarily have a structure in my chats, and I was just going by feel as to, whether I thought somebody might be up for a call, might be willing to jump on a call. But now, following the chat sequence, I've been able to get more people to that stage. So those two things have been really beneficial for me.
I like that you said just going by feel, because this is something that, especially like in the coaching space, you guys, people are not starting a business because they want to sell.
Yeah.
Right. But even in cold sales environments, people will do a similar thing. Like, we feel uncomfortable asking someone to take action or to move forward, to buy a product or something, unless they're the one to kind of initiate it. Right. Like, we get really awkward. We don't want to ask the questions. And so we're just going by feel. Does it feel like they're super duper in? And what we're actually doing is we're judging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
we're making a judgment. Do you want to buy? Do you want to talk to me? And not even giving the opportunity.
Yeah. And you got to remember, these people don't realize that they're talking to somebody necessarily who can help them. They think they're talking to some, they're just some random person on the internet. They don't know. They're talking to someone, someone has just fallen in their lap, someone who can help them. And oftentimes there are people out there just begging for some help. They don't know where to turn. So, don't just assume that, people don't want help. Don't assume that people are not going to pay for help. I've had several clients pay me for 6 months in full. And, it's wonderful. So there are people out there with plenty of money, plenty of successful people, but also people who, even people who may not be, as successful, can't pay for big programs all at once. They're willing to do the monthly payments and pay it off, because it's something that is so important to them. It's become such a pain in their life, and really digging into somebody's pain points and asking really good questions of them, what they're struggling with, getting them connected to their pain, but giving them some help, for free. Information doesn't create transformation. What it does is it builds trust.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But if someone can take your information and go away and create their own transformation, I've had one girl do that. I was hoping she might become a client, but she went away, took my information, and lost 18 pounds, changing her diet, and healed her SIBO. She'd been suffering with SIBO for most of her life, and then after a few weeks she went back to the doc and she had no signs of SIBO. So I still use her as a testimonial because I helped her.
For sure. Like, I use testimonials from my free content. I use testimonials from my 10K guide. Like, I love that you said information doesn't create transformation. Most of the time it doesn't, right? Because it's the taking the action, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time we get stuck and we don't hold ourselves accountable, or we get confused, we get overwhelmed, we try to do too much at once. I love that. Is there anyone here who has any questions for Kerryn? If you do, I should have asked this earlier in the call, so they had time to come through. The other day, I think, where was I? I was on the live. I was in a training. I said, does anyone have any questions? And I'm like, oh, okay, no, thank you, bye. And then I turn the live off, and then questions. Kerryn, I'm like, I guess I need to wait to see if they've actually done something. I'm like, oh, nothing, straight away in 3 seconds. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I know. And the questions always come through a little bit later. They're always a bit delayed too.
Well, I fucking type it out, right? And I'm just like, oh, you didn't, nope, nothing there. But if anyone is wanting to get help with getting healthy, or by the sounds of it, if anyone just needs a mindset coach, or whatever, getting healthy, or losing weight, changing the diet, whatever it may be, what do you have and where can we find you?
What do I have? You mean what, lead magnets or programs, or what are you talking about?
What do you have to help us out? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
Offers, whatever.
Yeah, I have. Okay, so I've got a couple of programs. There's my Plant Power Kickstart, which is a 30-day program if anyone wants to test plant-based eating, even just for a 30-day period of time to get themselves a bit of a health kick. There's my Plant Power Kickstart program, or I've got Plant Power Transformation, which is the longer 12 to 6 months. Who knows? It might even be 12 months soon. That's the weight loss transformation program, where I help you transition to plant-based eating if you're not there already, or help you, dial in your plant-based eating, and we work on all the mindset stuff that's going to help you transform your life and reduce, get you down to your weight loss goals. So they are the programs that I have to offer at the moment, just the two of them.
Cool.
You can find me. They can either send me a friend request if you want. There is a link to my group in my profile. It's plant-based health and weight loss support, or I can chuck a link in the comments when we're done.
Definitely chuck a link in the comments. I'll have to come back and tag you after we put the replay up, because at the moment you're just some random face on the internet. You're not tagged in this.
Yeah, Kerryn Sawyer,
just a beautiful mermaidy looking face here. But yeah, Kerryn Sawyer, guys, is her name on Facebook. But come and drop your links. That would be awesome if you could share that with us, and we could bring some people over. And I don't know if you have any final tips or tricks, anything that you wanted to share.
Final tips or tricks? No, I think, well, just be kind to yourself too. We all focus on what's not going well in our lives. We beat ourselves up. We focus on the negative, and that's completely normal. That's just our brain's way of trying to keep us safe, trying to keep us in a comfort zone. So, but it's not helping us. It's not serving us. Focus on what is going well, even if it feels like the world is falling apart around you. Right. Focusing on what it is that you have done well, what is going well, what you're grateful for, and that just helps to, change your perspective on the world, on your health, on who you are, all sorts of things. So, apart from getting your water, getting your sleep, and getting more veggies.
Love. This has actually been so helpful on so many levels for so many things. I'm gonna have to blast this shit out to my email and to people and get some eyeballs on this, because this was really, really helpful. Thank you for doing this. I hope y'all have an awesome week. Happy Monday or Sunday, wherever you are. And Kerryn will come back and she'll drop her links afterwards for you guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having me.